Claire, you're watching Stitch Sew. Thank you so much for joining me today for another video. So today's video is a Friday Sews video, and I am here to talk to you all about sewing and what I've been up to and life, etc. So Friday Sews was started by the wonderful Jen from Today in Jen Sewing Room. She started this fantastic sewing hashtag that just brought the sewing community together. So don't forget to check out all the other vloggers that are posting under the hashtag. So what have I been up to? So I've done some sewing, I've got a whole bunch of new fabrics to show you, and I have got some plans. So let's crack on with what I've been sewing. So my last video came out to you on Sunday and I filmed it on Sunday. In fact, it might have even come out Monday, but I filmed it on the Sunday. So I haven't had a huge amount of time between Sunday and today being Friday to sew, but I have managed to do a little bit, and a couple of things I can talk to you about now, and some more of the things that I've been playing around with will come out in my video on Sunday, because I am taking part in the vlogger tour for the wonderful challenge being run by Alison from sewlight.e, which is a gift to November 24, and the hashtag is AGTN 24. Sorry, that took me ages to figure out the abbreviation for it. I'll pop it along the screen. So my video comes out on Sunday, and so I'm going to put together some ideas for that, and I've been working on a few things, so I'll show you those in the video. So but today I'm going to show you my finished lotta dress. So last video I spoke to you about two lotta dresses that I've been making, both jersey makes, and I had one that I'd completely finished and one that I had done a fair amount but it wasn't finished. So here is my finished lotta dress in this gorgeous autumnal coloured fabric. Just those tones are just beautiful. So it's got the elastic in the waist. I've lowered this neckline right down, done quite a thin neck, what do you call this? You know, the neck cuff bit. That's not what you call it, but you know what I mean. Neck band, there we are. I've also done a binding on there. I've got a little rosy cheeks label, and I've just twin needled along the sleeves and the bottom as well. So that's all finished, and I'll pop some pictures in of me wearing that one. I'm really pleased to finally get this sewn up out of my stash. I've had this fabric in my stash for a year, and that's way too long. It needed to be sewn up, so I'm delighted to have got that finished. Now my older son turned 10 during the week, and he was very excited to turn 10 because of course double figures is a big milestone as a child. I definitely remember being very excited about turning 10 far too many years ago now, and each birthday I pull out this Waves and Wild hat, like crown, that I made for him when he was much younger, and each year I make a new badge to go on the front. Now in the past I have just done it with Velcro. This one I decided to make as a pin badge. So normally what I do is I just cut out in fabric a letter, and I use Velcro to stick it on, and each year they change it. Now this year I did it very slightly differently in the fact that I decided to go for much more of a badge approach, and I've just made a 10 out of, it's not the most accurate circle. I did draw around something, but in terms of the sewing process, yeah, and so I've just kind of done a very close together zigzag stitch all the way around the letters and around the outside. It's just using felt and then with some letters, and I've just used some Bonder web to put those on with, and he was really pleased. He could wear the badge to school, and everyone knew it was his birthday, and then obviously it can go on the crown as well as his sort of birthday crown. This is a fab pattern by Waves and Wild. There's various different ways that you can do the back. I've used Velcro, but you can do it with a ribbon, poppers, various different ways to do it. And it's a free pattern on the Waves and Wild website. So obviously you could make birthday crowns, or you could make them for Christmas. And you know, rather than having your hat that comes out the cracker that invariably rip, you can make a crown, and there's different sizings on it, but with this one in particular it's Velcro, so as my son has got bigger, obviously his head has got bigger too, and you can just pop your crown on. So yeah, that's that little make. And as I say, I have been pootling along, just playing around with some Christmas gifts, some sort of test versions as well this week. I've also cut out a pattern that I need to get sewn up this week, and that is for a kind of like a pattern test type make. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting that one sewn up. I haven't not using a necessarily massively seasonally appropriate fabric, but I just love this. This is a viscose fabric. This is a chunk that I've got left because I had loads of it, and I just love that. It was around quite a lot in the sewing community at one point, and whilst it's not necessarily massively seasonally appropriate, I think it'll be nice, and I can still kind of style it with black tights, etc., and boots for the winter. So I think it'll be fine. So yeah, that's my definite sewing plan that I need to get sewn up. I'd like to get some Christmas makes sewn up, and I would also like to finally get round to sewing up something from this book. Now, I bought this last year after going on a sewing retreat, and a few of the lovely ladies, both Cara from So So Mad and Sarah from So Sarah Styled, are particular fans of the Derwent trousers, wide leg trousers, and I don't really feel like these photos particularly do it justice, but if you hop over to Cara's and Sarah's Instagrams, and I'll pop it all down below, they've done some such stylish versions of them. They're really lovely. And so I bought, along with buying the book, I bought some quite inexpensive Ponte fabric to kind of try it out. I bought some in black, I think, and some in a navy blue, I think, very inexpensively from Legend Textiles back kind of sort of February time. And I just never got round to sewing them up, largely because the patterns come in the back of the book. They're all crisscrossed over. You have no choice but to trace them out, and I hate doing that. However, I've bought myself some more tracing paper, and I really must just crack on and do that, because there'll be such a good addition to my wardrobe, and I really think they're just going to be a super quick sew, because there's nothing to them in terms of pieces, front and backs. I think that's about it. And it's got kind of quite a high rise on it, so you can turn it over and etc. So it hasn't even got like a proper waistband on it, so I think it's just two pattern pieces, a front and a back, and obviously that you cut out twice. So in terms of making them up, they're going to be super speedy, and then I'd have hopefully a lovely pair of wearable trousers. So I thought what I'd do is I'd cut out one, and then if I need to make any adjustments, I can do it for the next one, and hopefully both of them will be kind of wearable, but if they need some tweaks, it's no great loss, because as I say, the fabric was so inexpensive. So those are my makes, those are my kind of some of my plans for the next couple of weeks. So let's crack on with this fabric bundle of stuff that I've got here. Now, these are essentially all for Christmas presents. Okay, so as I say, my video for A Gift to November is coming out tomorrow, so you'll see some of these fabrics sort of featured in there in terms of what I've got plans for, and some of them probably not, although they are for Christmas makes. But I don't want my video for Gift to November to be massively long, so I probably won't talk about all of them. So I've got these two gorgeous gonk fabrics. Now, I love gonks. I know somebody else in the sewing community loves gonks too. Ruan, I'm looking at you if you're watching. And so I've picked up these two gonk fabrics. They're both the same, but one's got a black base and one's got a white base. And they are a cotton canvas, quite a fairly lightweight cotton canvas. And when they arrived, I realised they are a poppy fabric, and I find that their range of fabrics are always really nice quality. So yeah, I've got it in a pale background and the dark background, both the same pattern but look a little bit different because of the different backgrounds. So that's my sort of my first Christmassy fabrics. I have picked up 3 pieces of ribbing, you know, for neck bands, cuffs and bottom hem bands and things, in a really bright red. Didn't realise it was going to be quite so bright as that, but I'm sure it'll work for Christmassy stuff. I've got like a really nice deep bottley green, foresty type green, and a black, because they are really reasonable. All these fabrics, by the way, came from Pound Fabrics, and I wanted to get some bits from them. I bought a roll of tracing paper from them, which was quite inexpensive for a prim tracing paper. Fingers crossed it's good. And I wanted to also get some of this because I'd run out, and this is like a heat proof wadding. And again, I thought that it was quite a good price on there, so that was something else that I picked up. You can see it's got kind of a glistening edge to it, and that's the heat proof element of it, I believe. So that's to make some bits and bobs. Then I've got a couple of fabrics that aren't Christmassy as such, but they are for Christmas presents. So again, this is a cotton canvas fabric with these chilies all over, which I just think is really fun. I don't think this one is by Poppy. I can't see that it says on the selvage, but it feels very similar in terms of quality, so that's great. So that's another one. And then I've got this gorgeous poppy fabric, as in actual poppies, not the brand poppies. And this is a Rose and Hubble fabric, so they always feel gorgeous, Rose and Hubble fabric. So this is like a cotton poplin fabric, and this is to make something for my mum. Hopefully she's not watching. And then I've picked up this cotton shirting fabric. It's a navy with tiny little dots all over. Hopefully you can see that coming up. Again, this feels gorgeous in terms of its handle, and I've picked this up to hopefully, if I get time, make my dad something for Christmas, hopefully a shirt for him for Christmas. But I'm always a little bit over ambitious with Christmas gift plans, so we'll just have to see. And finally, I've picked up this other gonk fabric, which is gorgeous. This is a French terry fabric. I think they do this in 3 colorways, if you're interested in this fabric. In terms of the base color, so I can't quite remember what the others were. I think maybe there was a lighter grey, and then possibly one that was more of a red base. I can't quite recall, if I'm honest with you. but if you head over to Pound Fabrics, if you are interested, then you'll be able to see. And all the colourways when I bought this one were available. Whether they still are, I'm not quite sure. So that one's really fun, and this one is probably going to be for a gift too, or kind of a pre-Christmas gift, because you know you kind of want them before Christmas, don't you, for a Christmas jumper. So that's the plan for that one. So in the coming weeks I'm going to be super busy in terms of Christmas gifts. I'm going to try and squeeze in a little bit of sewing for myself as well, so that I don't get a little bit like, oh, I haven't sewn anything for myself. But equally, I do love sewing for other people, particularly at Christmas time. I think that you can, it's really nice to be able to sew for people, but only if they appreciate it. So I am selective about who I make handmade gifts to, or gift them to, because not everybody understands the amount of time that goes into them, and they're just not that interested in the fact that they're handmade. Thankfully, my family are all quite crafty minded, and whilst we all have different crafty type hobbies, it does mean that we appreciate it when somebody else makes something for us. So hopefully all the things that I do end up making will be well received. So this is a bit of a short and sweet video from me today. You might be pleased to know I feel like I've been around quite a lot in terms of videos recently. And a massive thank you to everybody that's been watching my recent videos. Anybody that has subscribed recently, I've had a little flurry of new subscribers, so welcome and thank you for joining in, and a huge thank you to everybody that has been watching and liking and subscribing to my videos for a long time. I really appreciate all your support. It really does mean a lot. And yeah, if you do like today's video, do give me a like, and subscribe if you haven't, etc, etc. But just thank you so much for watching. If you've got any ideas for any of those fabrics that I've shown you today, and you think, oh, you should make such and such, please do let me know in the comments below. But for now, I will say goodbye. So take care, happy sewing, bye bye.